Captain Kelly Ferris. I'm the commander of the Communications and Public Affairs Division and the Public Information Officer for the Prince George's County Office of the Sheriff. Thank you all for being here in this difficult time. The press conference will begin shortly. After our statements, we will take questions from the media. At this time, I would like to introduce Colonel Darren C. Palmer, who has served as the Chief Assistant Sheriff for approximately 12 years. This afternoon at 3:00 p.m., Colonel Palmer was sworn in as the Sheriff for Prince George's County. Colonel Palmer will now share a few words. Colonel.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you, Captain Ferris. I want to thank you all for attending, especially the members of the Sheriff's Office, our Chief Administrative Officer, Ms. Tara Jackson, the Director of Public Safety and Homeland Security, Mr. Barry Stanton, Prince George's County Police Chief, Malik Aziz, Landover Hills Police Chief, Robert Liberati, who is the President of the Police Chiefs Association for Prince George's County, and Lieutenant William Milam, President of Fraternal Order of Police Lodge 112. It is with profound sadness that I am announcing the passing of Sheriff Melvin C. High. Sheriff High was feeling ill and checked into Washington Hospital Center, where he passed earlier today. I have been in contact with his wife Brenda and his daughter Tracy. I have shared my personal condolences, those of our agency, the law enforcement community, and those in this entire community who dearly loved and respected Sheriff High. The family is asking for privacy at this time, and I implore everyone to respect their wishes. Sheriff Melvin C. High was serving in and nearly completed his third term as the elected sheriff for Prince George's County. He was first elected in 2010. Over the last 12 years, Sheriff High modernized the Sheriff's Office, focusing on professional growth of the agency, top-tier training, effective service delivery, and accountability. A significant accomplishment has been the accreditation by the Commission on Accreditation for Law Enforcement Agencies, CALEA, demonstrating contemporary 21st century agency standards that have been verified by proofs that meet or exceed all those standards. The agency was accredited 4 years ago and reaccredited annually since then, as recently as this year. Prior to becoming the elected sheriff, Sheriff High served as the Chief of Police in Prince George's County for 5 years, beginning in 2003. During his tenure as police chief, he overhauled the agency's policy manual and led the agency through the Department of Justice consent decree and memorandum of agreement. During this important time, he also reduced violent crime in the county. Sheriff High served as the Chief of Police in Norfolk, Virginia for 10 years prior to coming to Prince George's County, where he introduced and instituted community policing. Sheriff High started his law enforcement career in 1969 in Washington, D.C. He rose through the ranks of the Metropolitan Police Department to attain the rank of Assistant Chief of Police and served there as their second in command. Sheriff High was a participating member of many organizations, including the National Association for Black Law Enforcement Executives, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, the Maryland Chiefs of Police Association, the Prince George's County Police Chiefs Association, the Virginia Association of Chiefs of Police, the Hampton Roads Chiefs of Police Association, the Association of FBI National Academy Graduates, the Maryland Sheriff's Association, and the National Sheriff's Association. He held a bachelor's degree in biology from Tennessee State University and a master's degree in business and public administration from Southeastern University in Washington, D.C. Sheriff High's full biography is in your handouts. I've had the pleasure of being associated with Melvin C. High for nearly 20 years now. I have unending respect for him, and it has been the highlight of my professional career to have been associated with him and to have worked for and with him. Sheriff High is the epitome of a law enforcement professional. He is learned, thoughtful, caring, and the consummate teacher. I have watched as he fielded calls from chiefs all around this country seeking his input and guidance. He always assisted. He deeply loved this agency and worked tirelessly to grow and improve it. And he sought every day to make Prince George's County a better place. He lent his talents not just to law enforcement, but to matters of health, education, and all aspects of government. Sheriff Melvin C. High was an exceptional human being who gave everything he had in service to others. He is loved, and he will be deeply missed by everyone. In your packages, you have a copy of Maryland Courts and Judicial Proceedings, Section 2309. Sheriff High appointed me as his Chief Assistant Sheriff when he took office 12 years ago. Upon his untimely passing, the roles of the Chief Assistant Sheriff is to assume all the powers, duties, responsibilities, and obligations of the sheriff. As such, I was sworn in today at 3 p.m. to serve as sheriff of Prince George's County, and I will uphold that obligation until the new sheriff-elect, John Carr, is sworn in next month. I want to thank the men and women, sworn and civilian, for their kind words and support during this very difficult time. I again share my deepest sympathies and condolences to the High family. I know Prince George's County mourns with me and our agency on their loss. Eternal God, please let Sheriff Melvin High rest in peace. I would like to bring forward Mr. Barry Stanton for remarks, and then I will take any questions. Thank you.
Good afternoon. You know, this is a sad day in Prince George's County. To lose a gentleman, a mentor, a professional, a man, and a family man such as Melvin High. I was humbled to know him for almost 20 years. On behalf of the public safety team in Prince George's County, I want to humbly give my condolences and sympathy to the High family, to the Sheriff's Office, for all you have done under Melvin High. He will be missed. He will be missed greatly, because he had the reputation of being a true professional, but also a true gentleman. And I've known Sheriff High for 20 years. When I was a rookie coming into Prince George's County and was afraid, because I came from little old Frederick County. And Melvin says, "You'll be okay, Barry. You'll be okay." But he will be missed. He will be missed. because he really was a caring and professional man. So again, on behalf of the public safety team in Prince George's County, again, I want to express my sympathy and condolences. At this time, I'd like to bring up our Chief Administrative Officer and make a few comments on behalf of County Executive Angela Also Brooks.
Good evening. The county executive would certainly have been here today, but she is out of the country. But on behalf of the county executive also Brooks, I'd like to extend our just profound condolences, not only to the family of Sheriff High, but also to this awesome department. We are extremely saddened to hear of the loss of Sheriff High, the consummate professional. Sheriff High has been a dedicated public servant to the residents of Prince George's County, as you've heard, for nearly 20 years, and will be remembered for his service to this community, his commitment to the safety of Prince Georgians. I personally will remember him for his love of his family. Sheriff High led a stellar career in law enforcement, serving in various capacities, as you've already heard. The Chief of Police for Prince George's County, Washington, D.C., and Norfolk. He served as our sheriff for nearly 12 years and has worked tirelessly to ensure the safety and well-being of individuals and families throughout our community during his tenure. We will miss him. We will miss him at the table. And you're right, he was such a gentleman. Sheriff High was especially involved in efforts to fight domestic violence in our community, launching the annual Purple Nights program in October during his tenure. We will also remember him for his advocacy for the men and the women of this department. He was continuously fighting on your behalf. We are asking Prince George's to join us in praying for Sheriff High's family, including his wife Brenda and his daughter Tracy, as they navigate this very difficult time. On behalf of the county executive, I say, may God bless you. Colonel Palmer, we are here for you during this, Sheriff Palmer, we are here for you during this transition, and certainly to the Sheriff-elect, Carr. And may God bless Prince George's County. Thank you.
So I do thank you very much to Jackson and DC Eric Stanton. I do want to acknowledge the law enforcement partnership in Prince George's County is enormous, and with the many municipal agencies who work together, our relationship with the county police is phenomenal. And quite frankly, we can't get it done if we don't all work together. And so I sincerely appreciate your presence being here on behalf of the men and women of the organizations and all the police departments in Prince George's County. So with that, I will take it, and let me just acknowledge as well our command staff. This news has come as just very shocking, unexpected news to all of us today. And I cannot tell you how in rapid order everyone has stepped up and said we will get done all the things that we need to get done. And it's always been the case, but in times of tragedy you see what metal people are made of, and the men and women to my left have absolutely stood up as I would expect they would, and all the men and women of this agency. And so I thank them very much for their support and their continued great action. And with that, we'll begin. Any questions? Okay. Seeing none, I thank you all again. As has been shared, please keep the sheriff's wife, Brenda, his very beloved daughter, Tracy, and his grandson, in your thoughts and prayers. They have lost a tremendous man, and there will be forever a void in that family as they will in the sheriff's office. Yes, sir.
Just to ask one question, you spoke a lot about his public service, but who was Melvin Hyde the man? What were his interests? What did he like to do outside of it?
So Sheriff Hyde was so dedicated to his law enforcement career. He was an avid reader. He is an absolute man of God. He is a faithful attendant at St. Joseph Church. He is a practicing Christian, and I say that in that he brings the philosophies of Christianity into his decision-making about doing right for people all the time because it's the right thing to do. And we have talked over many years about his 53 years in law enforcement, and he said consistently, I believe I have something to give, and I will give as long as I can give. And he has lived up to that, literally to his death, in service to Prince George's County and to his community. And so Sheriff Hyde, as you've heard, is a family man. He is learned. He never wants to stop learning. He never wants to stop teaching. He is always opening his door to anyone that wants to hear and learn from him. But he is about people, and he is about public safety and constitutional policing. Yes, ma'am.
What will you all miss the most about him?
Literally every day, I sat in his office and we discussed life. We discussed efforts of this agency. We discussed the challenges facing public safety in this metropolitan region around the world. We talked about everything, and his broad knowledge of life and the world and all aspects. My children, I insisted I was not going to bring my children into this, but I think my oldest was four when Sheriff Hyde came into his life, and so he has seen the two of them graduate and go on to their careers, and one works in agriculture, the other's in the Navy, and invariably, as we would discuss anything, Sheriff Hyde had specific knowledge about not only those businesses, but where they are today, what's happening, and so he was such a beloved, wonderful, warm human being that wanted to share and guide people. That will be missed by all of us. Okay? Thank you all very much.